Hello, and welcome to today's video where I talk about putting together a list of 40 names of people throughout history and modern times to study. I have honestly been so excited about this. I actually got the idea from my husband who, using AI, put together a list of 40 people to study that essentially align with his values, with the things that he wants to accomplish in life, and the important things for him to learn and understand. And I just thought that was the coolest thing, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that too. That is really neat. And it's kind of funny. He told me his list. I don't remember all the people on it, but as I've started working on my list, we definitely have a lot of different people in our list, but there are some overlaps too. And so it's kind of neat to, see that and kind of compare. And, yeah, it's been really neat so far, just putting together my list. So I'm not quite done with it. I've been working with ChatGPT, and I've got, I think, 28 or 29 out of 40. I don't know why 40 specifically. That's just what my husband did. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna do that too. And so, yeah, it is going to be a list of 40 people to study. And it's kind of like people essentially that can teach me something either from their teachings and their studies, or just their life and the things that they did that will help me better accomplish the things that I want to do in my life, and also just provide me more insight into life and into what's really important. And so for my list, I've been working on it through different sections. So the sections that I have so far, I had to write them down so that I could actually share it. So the first section is about people that, oh, I don't know why the top of this didn't save, but it's essentially gospel driven people. The explanation for the section is those who live for God and use their closeness to Him to impact the world humbly or boldly. And I love that because religion has always been incredibly important to me. I guess God is important to me. And so obviously learning from people that truly value their connection and their closeness with God and use that to make the world a better place, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to work through God and be an instrument in His hands and doing good in the world. And so I'm really excited about that section. The people that I've got for it so far are C.S. Lewis, William Wilberforce, A.W. Tozer, Dietrich Bonhoeffer. I'm not totally sure about the pronunciation on all of these. Brother Lawrence, Harriet Tubman, and John the Baptist. If you're confused why Jesus Christ isn't on that list, it's because he is in a later section. But yeah, so that is the first section. And honestly, I had ChatGPT give me a general explanation of each of those people and why they'd be good for the list. ChatGPT gave me a ton of recommendations, and those are just the ones that I chose based on kind of what I want to learn and what I felt aligned best with my goals. And yeah, so I really am excited about that section. I feel like it's just really solid, and I might add one or two more names to it. That's the nice thing about this process is I can adjust and change it as I want to, since literally it's 100% personalized. Unlike in school when they give you a list of people to study and you just have to do what they tell you to, this is 100% about me and my personal growth and what I think is going to be beneficial to my life. And so it's pretty neat. But then the next section is wisdom teachers. I love a good little bit of wisdom. So anybody that I can learn how to find wisdom from is a big yes. So for that list, I've got Confucius, Nelson Mandela, Leo Tolstoy, Marcus Aurelius, and Martin Luther King Jr. So a solid list. Some of these people are more common names than others. That was one of the things that I was really in my prompt to ChatGPT. I'm I want a variety of people, whether they're well known or not. It's what's most important to me is that it's the principles of what I'm going to be learning from them aligning with what I'm looking to learn. And so yeah, that was the wisdom teachers section. Next up is builders and visionaries. So these are people that essentially can teach and inspire me to do something big, do something influential, to actually do something that's going to make a difference. And so for that list, we've got George Washington Carver, Elon Musk, Sarah Blakely, Jeff Bezos, and Tony Robbins. It was really funny with a couple of those ones, especially like as I was considering adding them to the list. ChatGPT was like, I do want to clarify that these people, not all of these people necessarily align with some of your personal values and like especially with some of the things you were looking for in previous sections, but they do really align with what you're looking for in this section, so they might still be worth considering. And like ultimately, I think it's important to acknowledge that you can learn just as much from the wrong that people do as you can from the right and the successful. So it's like ultimately my list isn't about having perfect people or people that have the exact same values as me. It's really just about people that by studying them I can learn. And that's what this is all about. So those are people that I can learn how to build big things from. So that's pretty neat. And then the next section I have is truth tellers and reformers. So this is those who courageously stood for truth, challenged unjust systems, and pushed for reform. And I love this because I feel like so much time and energy is spent in our society on trying to reform and fix things, but there are definitely a lot of things getting in the way of that. And it's like, it's kind of cool to see all these examples of people that successfully, change systems and try to fight for what's truthful and what's right. And so for what I've got on this list, this is when we've got Jesus Christ. He is on this one. And then we also have Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther, Galileo Galilei, Socrates, Moses, Hildegard of Bingen, I think it is, John Wycliffe, Joan of Arc, Philo of Alexandria, and Hypatia of Alexandria. So once again, some very common, well-known names, and some that I personally don't think I've ever even heard of before. But based on like the little like explanation that ChatGPT gave me, I'm like, these people sound like the perfect kind of people to, learn about truth-telling and reformation from. And so I'm really excited about that. And then the next section that I'm working on that I haven't finished yet is like thinkers and philosophers. And so for that one, I've got Aristotle, and then I haven't added any others to it yet, but I'm going to be chatting with ChatGPT more later today to get some more ideas for it. And honestly, if you guys watching this based on kind of what I've described that I'm looking for so far, if you guys have any recommendations or like historical figures that you really love or like feel like would apply well, please recommend them in the comments. Like I am so open to recommendations. Like I want as much like guidance to find the right people as I can. And AI is very helpful in finding good people, but it's like ultimately there might be just some really random obscure person that one of my commenters would think of that ChatGPT wouldn't necessarily, pull up. So if you guys have any recommendations, they would be greatly appreciated because I think I still have like 10 to 12 empty spots on my list that I need to fill. And so I feel like I'm going to pick like a few more out of this kind of philosophers section, and then I might add like one more section of names. I feel like I might just do like a general one that isn't like a specific category, because so far I've been doing it by category more so for the like to keep it easy in terms of like what I'm looking for, because I'm looking for a lot of different things and a lot of different types of people that I can learn from. And so obviously it's like by doing it this way, it's like I can make sure that I'm hitting all of those different areas that I really want to. And obviously this list is going to keep me busy for a while, but obviously I can always learn about and study other people too. It's like there's nothing stopping me. But it's like this is going to be kind of a solid baseline to start with, kind of getting me going on living a life where it's like I'm learning about people and skills and lifestyles that I can try to emulate. And I think what my husband is doing is he's focusing on like one person a week or something like that. And so I'm thinking I'll probably do something similar. But I feel like it very much so is just going to kind of be a figuring it out as I go kind of thing. Experimenting with different like amounts of focus and whatever. And just kind of seeing what I feel like is the most beneficial for me and what's like the most reasonable to incorporate into my life. And especially with I've kind of talked about wanting to like incorporate this in with my Bible study. A couple of them are really convenient for that, like Moses and Jesus Christ. I recently finished reading all of the 5 books of Moses, so I already have a little bit of a a start on that. And obviously, this isn't my first time learning about Moses, but it's like my first time intentionally like trying to read through the entire Bible and like really make it like an impactful and meaningful experience in my life. Really learn from it. And so it's been neat so far, and I'm excited to kind of incorporate this into it with it. And so yeah, this is kind of a neat process. I'm really excited to finalize my list and start studying. I started working on it last week, and then got too busy towards the end of the week to finish the list. But I'm like, I just need to get this list finished so that I can start kind of studying it using ChatGPT's guidance to kind of figure out where I want to start. Because like I've got all these names, and I feel like to some extent I'm just gonna kind of like pick out which ones to study as I go. But I'm wanting to put together some kind of like a guideline of like an order that would be good to do them in. And so I'm gonna be working on that once I get the actual list finalized. But I'm just really excited because I'm somebody that's always loved to learn. I love to understand things, and I love to learn from people. Like the History Channel is my favorite channel. I love the amount of information and knowledge that you can get through that channel. And so this is kind of channeling that same kind of energy into a lot more of like a focused study and something that's genuinely guided to be beneficial to me and my life and where I want to go. Because like what better way to inspire me and to help me become the person I want to be than look at people that did the kind of things that I want to do and succeeded, and be like, okay, how do I do it? Let me look at what they did and see how I can incorporate that into my life. But it's pretty neat. I'm super excited. I highly recommend if you guys are interested in a challenge and have the time. Maybe if you're not in school, this might be a little bit of a difficult task if you are in school because you're already doing a lot of stuff. But I'm already enjoying what I've learned and gained from this, and so I'm really excited to see how it changes me over time. So hopefully I'll be making a little bit of a series about this, and I can share more with you guys about what I learned from each of these people. And honestly, I'm so excited about that. I love learning, and I love sharing what I learned. So I'm excited about it. I hope you guys will join me for this journey of learning and studying and just trying to become a better person. But yeah, that is all for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.